One and welcome back as we're here for the second game of today with Endpoint versus Fate Esports. You can see as we're just getting ready to start this one. Fate did win out on the knife, so they will be taking CT's side away from Endpoint here as we start here on Inferno as our second map of the day. So very excited to see how this one goes because I always like Inferno. There's no complaints here. Yeah, perfect timing, people. But yeah, we're just rushing on into this, pretty much. Don't want to waste your time too much, so I just went straight on into it. Esports. You know it, baby. Yeah. Right, we were just waiting for all the players to basically ready up. That's the only delay we're really having. What even is the time right now? Oh, 20 past. But yeah, starts off with a pretty standard setup from Team Endpoint here. Looking to push up B. You can see Thomas sneaking on up, leading the party on in. There's only one player on B here. This is a perfect opportunity for Endpoint to really make this one. A single player holding the exit into mid from A. Let's make things difficult. A really, really nice smoke, but waiting right here. Gets one shot, but unfortunately flicks right on over. An advantage, though, for Team Endpoint is 4 versus 3, and they have site control. Everything is in their favor right now. Well, apart from, I guess, weapons. USP, obviously, a little bit stronger. You usually have it on 5, you have to have it on 50. I mean, if you want me to turn it up, I can. I can try and do that in a little sec. That might actually require me to start stream, so maybe it won't happen, but we do see a bit of aggression here as Thomas just spraying right on out. Takes it down 2. I'll have a quick look for you if you feel like that's important. It's really a problem. Oh, there just straight up isn't a button. Oh, God. Okay. Maybe I'll have a look at that next time. Because I have no idea how to do that. Right. Do you see Team Endpoint on that early pistol victory, picking up 3, no less, SMGs, which, again, I talked about in the last game. Really like it. Get that bit of economy going. Obviously, if you lose the round, feels real bad, but it's not the end of the world. Interested to see, I just wanted to quickly see Fate's economy. Has bought up not only armor, like the rest of his team, but also the MP9, so could be a key part if he gets a good spray down. Team Endpoint, for the most part, pretty spread out. They don't want to commit too hard early on. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to turn that up. I guess I'd have to turn both things up. I'll have a look at that. If there's a technical pause, I'm going to go have a look at it. But sorry about that. I wish I knew. It's just really surprising. Normally people complain I personally am too loud. So it's very interesting to be on the other end of that as we do have Fate losing out on a lot of health right now as Robin just moves on in, finishes off Han. I assume that's Han is the name rather than H4RN. Yeah. Oh god, that's vibrating. Why is that vibrating? We'll stop that. Team Endpoint. Now that they've picked up that first frag, decide that they want to move on to this B site, trying to get control early. And I mean, they have a pretty good setup as they move on in. I mean, brilliant spray down there from Mighty Max on both angles. I'm going to just solve it. Game volume is too low. Okay, I can sort that pretty quickly, actually. Desktop audio should be there. Is that a lot better? I can't turn up myself anymore. I am literally max, unfortunately. Actually, that's a lie, I think. That might make things a little bit better. Do you want me louder or quieter? You have to talk to MDL. I'm sorry, I can't get you it, so sorry, George. Anyway, back to the game, rather than dealing with technical issues. That's perfect, awesome. Crucial. Pushing up a little bit here. I'm going to drop on and deal with the chicken and... I mean, Endpoint, pick up that round pretty solidly. There wasn't too much to talk about. Glad we had that. Yeah, ESEA, is it? Okay, my bad. For me, I just get given it by Endpoint, so I do this. But that was nice from Fate, managing to actually pick up that frag onto the single player and do some economic damage. Hasn't been too relevant, at least for them, early on here, but maybe in the coming rounds when they're actually able to buy up, it could be important. Now, this is the thing. CT, normally pretty good. but your economy can be brutal. And that is exactly what's happening to Fate Esports here. They are caught out in a very awkward position. Yeah, you have to be a caster. Okay. I'm glad this is loads better. Thomas and Martin, both on the opposite sides of the smoke. Smoke dissipates, and that will be a dead Martin, as they do move on in pretty quick. I expect to see pretty similar smoke. That Molly, good at keeping everyone else out, but needs to let them move on in. Endpoint, going to take control of the B site, get that plant, and pretty much get everything. Fate just clumped up in this one little area in Arch, trying to hold something here. Definitely very interesting. I'm wondering whether they're actually going to try for this retake or not. Endpoint and Fate, guys. Well, right now, Endpoint are winning. That's my answer for you. Obviously, things can change. Last game was a very back and forth, considering that Endpoint started off with a 9-6 half on T side of Train, but did actually manage to close it out after it was brought back to 12-12. They didn't drop a single round. They took it 16-12. This is actually really pretty good for Team Endpoint. Sorry, for Fate. Imagine you could find at least one kill here in this situation. Really nice. Sad they didn't kill Crucial as well, but hey. Endpoint, again, picking up a very solid round. Everyone from Fate dying, I expect they wanted to do that so they didn't actually lose out on any of that money. And Team Endpoint, again, able to buy up. They pick up these AWPs. Oh, sorry. Han picks up these AWPs as the rest of the team kind of sitting around on that. A lot of utility. This is exactly the situation you want to be. The thing is, if you lose the pistol on CT, you really just have to give up so much. It's very unfortunate. Just because of the way economy works. Oh. Bit of freeze frame there, but Crucial does go down. That AWP for Han, paying dividends right away. Oh, God. What is happening to my CS? Oh, we're back. We're back. Interesting things. That's bugging out. Okay. Oh, God. We'll go to match up for a second. Oh, there we go. We're back in. Sweet. We're back. We're back. We're back. In the test stream, there were no issues, I swear. But there has been a storm. Was everything quiet, or is that just me? No, okay. It was just, no, it's fine. No, it's just me. Smoke comes on in. That is really nice. Have I forced it to do this, or is this Auto Inspector doing this? Are you know? What the? This should not be happening. I swear. Why are you following? What's the nade button? What's the nade? Does anybody know what the nade button is? Oh, do I have to just go? Oh, wait, we're perfect. This is good. This is good. This is good. We can just use this for a second. I'm sorry. I must have pressed the button while things went wrong. I can't even. Is it? It's not even bringing back. What the heck? What the heck is going on? None of my buttons are...
is not mine and it won't forget. But you bring me back from a darkness black. Cause the soul in me and the heart I have for you. It bleeds for you, it bleeds again. Oh, you bring me to life. 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 Bring me to oh, you bring me to life. Now you bring me to my side, tied to run on a faulty line. I'm safe only, even though we burn from the light I bleed. But she bring me back, not a heart attack could take away all the love I had for you. It bleeds for you, it bleeds again. Oh, you bring me to life. 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 Oh, you bring me to
All right, we're back in. We're back in, and it is 4-1. We didn't miss too much. It's now rifle round, and well, sort of rifle round. I assume that Endpoint picked up that one. Oh wait, maybe Fate picked it up. I can't remember what the score was before we left, but yeah, Endpoint with some good frags to start things off. AWP is still online, but it's in an awkward position. Martin does manage to pick up a frag for Fate Esports here. Still got a bunch of rifles, but there's only one player here. Can expect a smoke to just move on through. Mighty Max looking towards that position, takes down Nikki, and with the smoke in place, Endpoint managed to get the bomb planted. And this is so good for them that Fate aren't even going to try. They want to go for the save, and they want to keep that up for the upcoming round. All right, crisis averted. We're all good now. But yeah, okay. Right. I also don't know the name of the song, unfortunately. I can't remember where I grabbed it from, or whoever grabbed it got it from. Otherwise, I'd be able to help you with that. But yeah, Endpoint with another solid round. Fate playing very passively, and that's kind of something, again, going back to CT, something you have to do there, because you don't have a lot of money. If you lose out on a round and lose everything, you just can't buy. You just can't even contest anything, because you don't have the economy to do so. And that's why on these CT-sided maps, sometimes things just can go so wrong. Pretty sure this map is CT-sided. Maybe I'm remembering correctly. Because Endpoint certainly making it not look like that. Blocker, yeah, Blocker not having a good start, but you know who is having a good start this time? If you were watching the previous map, Mighty Max. In last map, he I think had the same frags as he has now as his team won it. Team Endpoint in a very good position right now. As they are 4 rounds up, obviously, but also with a good economy. They've got a decent one. Sure, Surreal had to buy up here, but I mean, Fate just can't put anything out on the same level. That's why you see Nikki with the CZ. That's why you see Patrick with the P250 and Block Up with that MP9. Bit of early utility. Does manage to find Robin. But doesn't lead to anything. Endpoint, very worried about checking his angles. And rightfully so, because if there's a CV waiting around it, yeah. Fate. Holding some good angles to try and shut down a lot of these pushes, but with the weaponry that Endpoint has, it could just be very difficult. That is a beautiful molly, and Patrick, forced out into the open, still manages to take down Robin, and with the backup of their team, shut down Mighty Max as well. However, Surreal very happy to clean that one on up with the backup from the rest of his team. Crucial moves on through as they finish off Martine, and a 3k for Surreal as he finally falls a player in pit here. Thomas will finish that off, and it's 1 versus 2. AWP retake doesn't seem so likely from Fate, but they are still going for it right now. Okay, thank you very much. That's very helpful. Thank you, you and me. Oh, was it not on? My bad. Yeah, good point. Sorry. I normally turn it on whenever I get back in. I'm not used to having to restart broadcasts. No, I'm not turning the song on. No, stop, JTW. We're focusing on the epic gamer content that's happening on the screen. But yeah, Endpoint picking up that round very solidly. As I said, trying to make a retake with the AWP there, so very difficult for Fate Esports, and that's why they weren't able to pick up that round after that initial flurry of frags from Endpoint. They picked up a couple of good ones and made good usage of both the SMGs and the pistols that they had available to them. But in the end, obviously, better weaponry does win out for the most part. I'm trying to keep us relatively serious and on subject here, people. Chat, can we focus on the game? But Fate Esports are struggling to really take part in this game so far. They picked up a round, but they picked up a couple of kills, but for the most part, they've just had to save. And Surreal popping on through there, takes down 2 heads, and Fate Esports yet again on the back foot. You've got 1 player remaining on the site. Martine playing quad. Does manage to take down 1. Almost finds that second, but Crucial with a nice flick there does take down Martine. And you can see it already. Nikki and Patrick both just going, well, 2v4 retake, not very easy. If we lose this round, we lose our economy, well, the next couple of rounds are going to be even worse. So, not even going for it. Right now, Team Endpoint just looking to carry on with this economy. Lose as few players as they possibly can. And then from there, continue to mount it. So even if they do lose a single round to Fate when they are able to buy, which will be in a couple of rounds' time, they will just be able to buy back up and continue this aggression that they're going for. Nice flash there from Crucial to move them on in, as they are actually hunting aggressively for this, but not too aggressively. They're not moving on to the B site and into the line of sites that you know Fate are going to be holding. Especially because 2 of them are like around, well, dinks basically. Fate, on the whole, been pretty solid, but unable to actually close out rounds. They found a couple of frags on a lot of these ecos, but again, when you're playing these angles, you can get it, but when you're going for those straight-up gunfights against the rifles, even if you find the first ones, you'll run out of ammo, for example. We saw that happen as Fate had 3 players outside Boiler, and Surreal just rocked on down, found a 3k. Moved on site, did die, but right behind him was his teammates, and this is the important part of refragging that Endpoint have been using very well. Yeah, thanks, Yumi. In fact, what is happening? Would you go to cam, and I'm going to make that change to the voice thing that you were talking about. Voice_scale0. Right, we're right back on in. We should be right back on in. Yeah, we are. Awesome. Right, just getting that sorted while we were doing that. Hello, JTW. I've done that, sir. Yeah, I mean, Fate picked the CT side. They knew what they were getting into. It's not like they haven't played this before. They know it's going to be hard. And actually, by making these conservative decisions, they're making good decisions. And it's hard to pick up a couple of the rounds, but going for the harder round side first, some teams kind of like that. Team Endpoint, very happy to take the easier side to start off with. And have been taking it to the bank. Bit of molly damage on Nikki. More than anything, gives away information. The HE does find crucial, but as much as that damage is, it's leading to more information. Fate. Playing quite aggressively here. Nikki with this MP9, looking to jump and get some information. Some good mollies to stop them from pushing up aggressively on Banana, as the rest of Endpoint putting feelers out on this A site right now. To try and make the move, but there it is. The two riflers, they do take down one, taking down Thomas on that Banana angle. But picks up the bomb. Mighty Max already heading over to the A site. Probably very chuffed with the fact that he's not hitting basically none of his shots like he was in the previous map. Instead, having a pretty good game. Nice taps there from Robin. Gets the wallbang and finishes off Han as Martin, only remaining player, playing in Banana right now. Not going to get too much. Some solid stuff. Oh, I thought I did that voice disable. Maybe. Oh, I should say it one. No. Martin gets taken down, and we're going to quickly do that. There we go. There we go. That looks beautiful now, doesn't it? Really solid stuff right now from Team Endpoint. They are just dismantling Fate, and Fate just haven't been able to buy up. They're finally going to return to a buy round here, but even on these buy rounds, Fate have been struggling to find anything because Endpoint just have been executing so well. Popping your Endpoints in the chat would be a great way to support them and do that. And I'm sure Pete would like me to say, hey, you can sub to this channel and you too can have Endpoint emotes. So try and get that. And don't forget, if you are hanging around for this, as much as this game might be short, if Fate aren't able to come back, there is a second game coming up later this evening at 8 p.m. CEST, or 7 p.m. BST if you're a Brit like me. Fate having a little bit of an awkward match right here. Blocker not having a great showing at all. But pretty much everyone on Endpoint having their game. As you can see, I'll just show the frags. 12 for Surreal, 7 for Mighty Max. Again, more than he got in last game. So pretty solid stuff. Endpoint spreading out a lot, committing only when they find this opportunity right now. And they're not disrespecting Fate. They're going for a lot of these plays pretty standardly. That's the good part. Oh, Han. Gets a leg onto Surreal there. A little bit higher. Would have been sitting pretty in this round, but manages to take down Thomas. And because of the angle, they're not able to push him effectively. He might be able to find one more. Manages to hop out of the way as Blocker retreats on into pit here. This is great for for Fate Esports right now. They have a player advantage, but looks like Endpoint might be looking towards this rotate. Don't contest too much, but they just move onto site. Play down in pit. I don't know if they know. Crucial. Bit of an interesting spot as he tries to move on in. The smoke continues to be there. 35 seconds on the clock. Mighty Max swings wide, gets taken down. Blocker almost takes down another, but the player at Library falls as well as Endpoint continue to take control. 2 versus 2. But not a lot of life left on these Endpoint players. Fate could bring this out. They could take this round. Martin is waiting on site, and if they don't pre-fire him, he's going to take at least one of their heads off. Oh, he got 8 last game. Oh, I miscounted. I thought he got 6. Nice try there from Martin. Takes down 1. And as Surreal takes him down, Nikki was waiting in the wings to swoop that one up as Fate Esports pick up the second round of this half. It's been a dry spell, but they have been able to pick them up, most importantly. How many rounds left? What do you mean? There could be 8 rounds left. There could be... I'm trying to do numbers. 8 plus... There could be a lot of rounds left because of overtime. I can't do the maths. I can't list it. But Fate, even though they did that, as someone's saying in chat, I just noticed, because I'm keeping an eye on that, did lose a lot of economy for that. That's the important part of this. They don't have much utility left. You can see Nikki on this XM. XM certainly can do damage, but not what you want. You want that rifles. And Han has gone down to this Famos, and they've been a particularly important player when they don't have the ability to frag people like they're normally used to. Could be really important. A nice attempt at an HE there, but unfortunately no one waiting in exactly that position. Nikki playing a little bit more passive. Team Endpoint. Very much in control right now. They just need to make their executes. They still have a lot of utility set up for this. You can see flashes on every single player. A couple of smokes still left. Even a molly on Mighty Max to try and rip through some of the positions that Fate has set up. Looks like a banana play. So molly comes on in. They're just going to push on up. The molly. That source players out. Crossfire right now for Fate, but I mean, Nikki does find one, finds two. That's pretty good, honestly. Managing to get that at the XM. Mighty Max peeks on out, however, and finishes off Patrick, making it a 3 versus 3. You're trying to go for this rotate quick, but it's going to be difficult. Mighty Max plants right on top of this position. Already holding long. Crucial with that AWP. Finds the shot onto Martin. Easy peasy. He will put down that smoke again. Oh, what a beautiful smoke. Manages to bop off the top there. And honestly, really just shuts down a lot of what Fate want to do. And as a result, we see Fate in this situation again where even though they win a buy round, they then have no money left. And then they go to the position where Endpoint could just constantly have the money to buy, and they're having to force themselves down to lower and lower weapons. Sure, Nikki succeeded with the XM this time, but you can't consistently have that. Do you believe in the 16-2? I don't, actually. I think Fate are pretty decent. They've been fighting a good couple of rounds. They've been struggling a little bit, but Patrick, Nikki, and Martin have definitely been finding those frags, even with some of these lesser weapons. MP9 definitely doing work for that team. Endpoint. Holding strong as they try to get aggressive. Fate. I mean, to be fair, I don't blame them for trying to go for that. I think it's pretty sensible. It's worth taking the risk because you need to basically go big or go home to pick up a couple more rounds in this CT hop, because otherwise it's going to be so difficult. I think that's pretty accurate. But I mean, the pistol's pretty good. They won pistol, I think, right? No, they didn't. I'm full of rubbish. But they definitely can make it happen. I think on this T side, they can definitely find some success. I've seen Endpoint struggle when they don't have the economy, and I think Fate could do that to them. I mean, basically every team is going to struggle when you have no economy, but definitely is important. Some nice rifling there from Han. Will go back and forth. However, Blocker isn't able to make good on that promise. Last player is there. Martin does go down, and Team Endpoint edging closer to the 16-2 scoreline that people were talking about. But yeah, for the most part, Endpoint very much in control of this match. Thomas even has that rifle. Mighty Max, more than enough money. 5 digits right now for Crucial. A pretty good situation. Only one MP9 on the side of Fate. They're looking to contest us, and Patrick has been holding strong so far. I thought he moved into Molly for a second there. That seemed a little bit strange to me. But Endpoint, again, contesting for banana control, while also pushing up on these other angles. Martin does take down one, but with his teammate, he should be able to hold this position. Thomas tries to get that nade out, but a nice tap there from Patrick will deal with him through the smoke. Robin playing very aggressive and getting their team right on into this site. As much as you had success in banana, as you had success earlier on, wasn't able to lead to too much. Crucial, watching from library, takes down yet another. And you could try and push through Arch, can't you, Patrick? But Crucial is already waiting. Team Endpoint in a fantastic position, and I mean, they're just continuing to go on with it. Fate bought up and invested everything, but even then, they couldn't get a round win. I assume it is what you like to hear when you bet Endpoint. As, yeah. Right now, nades all across the board for Team Endpoint. They are fully stacked. And as much as you can put some of those mollies down and cut off a little bit of the approach from Martin, it'll be hard. Does find a lot of damage there. Cyril goes down to 42 and Thomas to 51. Robin this time wins his duel in this position. We'll start to back on out. Picking up that first frag. Ever so important. Molly from Nikki. Will there be a counter smoke? Will they just wait out? Pushing Robin again. Fate cannot seem to find success in this round. That's Team Endpoint just holding their angles. It does not seem to matter. You found everyone with that best of one and best of three. Yeah. That seems a little bit strange, mate. UKCS has been strong recently. Endpoint. Very solid punt. And 3 players on Fate saving. Because they just have to. That's the way this be. Yeah, I mean, on the whole, as you say, UKCS has been really thriving. A lot of UK talent in esports in general. And obviously very similar, but people might not like me talking about it. Fish123 have been really good. In other things. But UK esports has had a real good season. I've been very impressed with it. I follow a lot of games and it's been good. Very good, in fact. I assume a lot of UCS players will also know Fish123. Or at least one version of the roster. Endpoint. Just the thing is right now is Fate have to hope for. I think that they have enough for one more buy round here, obviously. But then going into the next half is going to be a really important thing. And as said in the chat, they need to win pistol. If they don't, which Endpoint already won pistol on T side, things are going to look really awkward. They got close to winning pistol, if I remember correctly. It was kind of close. So Fate definitely could take it. But if they're going to do that, they're going to need a couple of these players to step up. I'm going to bring up KD again. And just, you need to not have a player going 1, 2, and 11, basically. Everybody has bad days, and Blocker's really been struggling in this match. Nice spray there from Surreal. The initial shots come out, and he's instantly ready to punish. Moving on in. Mezzi was really impressive in the last game, actually. A little bit inconsistent. Like, some rounds he just did nothing. And then there was, like, a round where his team was on eco and picked up rifle and he just destroyed. Martin, holding a rifle, does a very similar thing. Manages to take down one. Almost takes down a second there. As Crucial manages to just get the heck out of dodge there. Instead, looking to play aggressively with the Sob. Deals with Martin as he just pops on in. Payback for that little bit of spray he took earlier. One more remaining player on this site, Nikki. Playing site position. Patrick has rotated over, but Han still over in CT, just in case this is a fake. But with the committal of utility, I expect to see a quick and speedy rotate here. Patrick tries to get a second spray down. It will actually be Nikki finding a frag for themselves. They're moving on in. Takedown crucial. It's 1 versus 2. But unfortunately, Thomas finds that frag. Han looking to push through. Finds the shot onto Thomas. And they do pick up the final round of their CT half. Keeping things relatively close. I want to play a quick card.
Everybody loves an underdog.
Who needs to be liked?
Right, and we're going to get right back on into it as we get into the second pistol round. Dualies for Thomas, as he's really feeling himself right now. I'm glad to see that. Dualies always good fun to catch. That's Team Endpoint looking to just keep this match on up. A pretty aggressive push right now from Fate, as they are just looking to push straight onto B. Very similar to what we actually saw from Endpoint. And I like that we're seeing quick rotate. Boosts on over, almost takes down one, continuing to try and fire shots through that. But Thomas, with these dualies now, looking to get a little bit, finds one. Doesn't stop the plant, however, and with these pistols coming on through for the rest of the team of Fate, they are going to take names away from Endpoint right now. Not a lot of health on Patrick. It's 2 versus 2 right now. Glock on Nikki. Baiting on the defuse. They don't have kit. Peeks on out, but that is a beautiful 2-tap there from Surreal as he finishes someone off and will get the defuse as well. Team Endpoint moving themselves 13-3 and potentially sealing the deal here for Fate. No game sound. Oh, I forgot to turn it on. That's why. Because I have to turn it off for the ads. Yeah, I got it. I'm sorry. Look, I just say words. Pushing buttons is beyond my pay grade. Well, it's not actually, but I'm saved. I literally have a button that disables and enables it. I just forgot to press it. I think it was. I thought it was, no, I thought it was 2 taps. Because he just went tap, tap. But it could have been 1. I don't know. Right now, Team Endpoint. Again, continuing with this aggression. I like that Fate have bought up here, honestly. Because they are CT. Sorry, not CT. They're on T. They have the money to do so. They can afford to put themselves in a position. It's all or nothing, sure. But, I mean, the all seems pretty promising to them right now. As they have nothing already. They're very happy to give this. This is a brilliant HE from Martin to pick up that one. Surreal gets a good spray down, takes down one, but is looking for the aggression. Han gets one. Good spray down there as well from Surreal to finish off Nikki, and only one remaining player in the bottom of pit. Martin goes down to 1, but that molly will force them on out and even just take them down. Endpoint losing a couple more players than they would have liked, but from the fact that Fate actually forced up there, they're very happy to take this. I expect to see Fate actually buying down so they can buy next. I don't expect them to do a full force. Oh, okay. I was wrong. But yeah. 26-7. Oh, yeah. Surreal is 26-7. Wow, I did not notice that. I know I've been saying his name a lot, like he's been fragging, but whew, really feeling himself right now. And I mean, Fate certainly feeling him too, as they just very much been on the receiving end. Crucial. Holding that angle is actually Fate. Look like they might commit onto this A site. Only 2 players and actually playing rather far back. They have enough time to move into positions if the engage does come. The smoking them off will mean that we're going to see that Patrick takes a lot of damage from this molly and almost goes down there. Brilliant timing, but Blocker doesn't catch Surreal as he moves on in. However, as the smoke goes on down, he will find him regardless. Gonna go for this plant. Thought versus 5 retake right now for Endpoint. Losing it isn't the end of the world, but picking it up be pretty solid in the bag. As with no money, Fate would be caught in a final round with nothing to play with. And all to play for. Team Endpoint looking to try and make it. They're going for it. They don't want to mess around. As I say that, Crucial has actually backed off. I mean, he has 6 HP. He's not too useful here. Mighty Max looking to capture a couple of these. It's Robin who draws first blood. However, he is going to be bloodied himself as Blocker will finish him on off. However, watching the angle, Thomas takes down Blocker. And Mighty Max will fall. The remainder of Fate are able to stay alive, managing to survive that bomb, but Endpoint losing the round, but finding a lot of damage, and as a result, sure they can force up around it, around the rifles they have put themselves in a decent position. We've seen them succeed with the Deagles before, and they've got rifles on some pretty solid players. Surreal, not with the rifle, notably, even though he's like, he might not be 26-6. He is 26-8 now. The rest of it, pretty solid stuff. Molly coming on in, stopping that push, but I mean, it hasn't stopped Blocker. But Surreal does not need a rifle, finds the big 4K, and that will almost be that. Han goes down to Robin, and Team Endpoint completely routing Fate's attempt at an offense there. As you say, Team Endpoint Looking like it could be one hell of a week for them. Don't forget, if you are around, you can stick around. Well, you go have a break, go have dinner, do whatever you want. At 8 p.m. CEST, there is one more game versus men's / demolition crew, however you know them. Robin, really feeling himself right now, pushes through the smoke, just completely balling. And unfortunately, Nikki falls to their own teammate. Patrick will fall as well to Thomas through that spray through the smoke, and 2 players still on A site as the bomb is stuck underneath it. Crucial takes a bit of damage as Auto Spectator doesn't want to show us anything. It is on. It is on. Hey, Blocker moves on through and just has a very awkward position. Han, the only remaining player, stuck here in mid versus 4. If you can do it, he'd be a hero, but, well, getting that done is almost certainly it. Did I say Fate are feeling it? That's my bad. Han, looking to try and pick someone and find something. Does find one, but doesn't even find that. Okay, I'm completely wrong. A rout from the side of Endpoint as they completely destroy that one.